Will the result be reflected in the recommendations for stage 2 of the review? And how will these recommendations be taken forward by the Council in an open manner, so that the possibility of the Council imposing a different option, not chosen by the people, is avoided?
Okay.
If you're satisfied with that reply.
Are you satisfied with that reply?
Now I have a supplementary.
May we have a supplementary, please?
Okay. Councillor Kenwood referred in his response to the identities, interestingly pluralised, of Bexhill. Whilst most residents would probably say that Bexhill does not suffer from a split personality, is the councillor giving us a clue that his party, the ruling one here, which has already stated that Bexhill will not be allowed a town council, is proposing to divide and rule by splitting Bexhill into multiple parishes?
Councillor Hodge?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The governance review is a very, very important process, and it will be carried out according to all the relevant government acts. But if you have any answers that are required to that question, then Democratic Services will be able to provide you with the answer in due course. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Question 2 from Mr. Simon Reid to again Councillor Kenwood. I'll soon taken by Councillor Hodge. Do you wish to read your question?
Yes, please, Chair. My original question is, on the 10th of November 2016, the steering group of the District Council's Community Governance Review agreed a list of frequently asked questions relating to the review, which it proposes to publish on the website. And once stage 1 of the review is launched on the 9th of January 2017, and which will run until the 31st of March. Frequently asked question number 5, which relates to area committees, has in its statement, some councils operate systems of area committees. These may be given authority to exercise some of the council's powers. They are made up of the councillors representing the local area covered by the committee. For example, an area committee for the whole of Bexhill on C would be made up of the 18 Bexhill ward members of Rother District Council. Can Councillor Kenwood, as the lead on the Community Governance Review, please provide specific examples of the delegated powers of the council that an area committee for Bexhill would be given if residents of Bexhill voted for an area committee as part of the stage 2 of the Community Governance Review process?
You have received a reply. I trust that you're happy with that reply.
I'd like to ask a supplementary question, Chair.
Okay.
Through Councillor Hollidge, I'd like to thank the Deputy Leader for his reply. As an interested resident, I'm still in the dark. The people of Bexhill are being asked in the review for their preference for the future governance of Bexhill. In the absence of published defined responsibilities for the area committee for Bexhill, will Councillor Hollidge agree with me, taking account of the powers and responsibilities of town councils set out in the Local Government Act 1972 and elsewhere, which are extensive and range, for example, from the right to challenge, leading on neighbourhood planning and promoting tourism, that anyone wanting the people of Bexhill to have a greater say in the decision-making process for Bexhill would have more certainty choosing the town council option when responding to the review consultation.
Well, thank you for your supplementary question. I think the original answer makes it clear that it's too early to be specific at this stage, and as I said before, it will be going through the statutory process of governance review.
Thank you, Councillor Hodge.
Third question is from Mr. Paul Court.
Are invited to register for the Community Governance Review for Bexhill so that they can be contacted with further information as the review proceeds. However, inquiries appear to have revealed that those without internet access might not receive the same level of service. I've produced a statistical model available from me on request based on a report on internet usage in 2016 from the Office of National Statistics and local census data that indicates that over 3,000 households in Bexhill, mainly older people, do not have internet access. That's almost 1 in 6 households, excluding the sizable number of residents in care homes. And I've gone on to point out the Council's equalities objectives and touched on the Equalities Act. My question, Mr. Chairman, is has Rother Council completed an equalities assessment relating to age, and how is it planning not to discriminate against older people during the Community Governance Review consultation process?
I trust that you're happy with the full and comprehensive reply that we've already given you.
I'm partially happy, Councillor Hollidge. I would, however, like to raise some additional points in a supplementary question. Good evening, Councillors. Part 1, Section 9 of Rother's Equalities Impact Assessment states there is no evidence of a differential impact on people due to their age on the outcome. According to a 2016 report from the Office of National Statistics, 47% of households consisting of one adult aged 65 plus do not have household internet access. According to the 2011 census, 23% of Bexhill households fall into that category.
Are you getting to the question?
Yes, sir. The reason I'm reading this out is that I've got further evidence that contradicts the Council's Equalities Impact Assessment, and I was just making the acting Cabinet member responsible for Bexhill Affairs aware of these before putting my question, if that's acceptable to you. I have one more point I'd like to make before putting my question. A Bexhill resident of Central Ward, aged 65 plus, informed me that he attempted to contact Rother Reception to register for the Community Governance Review last Wednesday, the 7th of December. The employee he spoke to hadn't heard about the review, so he couldn't register. He tried again this morning by phone, but apparently made no progress. Now, my question, Mr. Chairman, to the acting Cabinet member for Bexhill Affairs is, would you please reassure me that this unsatisfactory situation at reception will be addressed, and that the existing Equalities Impact Assessment will be reviewed with appropriate further action if deemed necessary?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, you've brought home some very good points, and they will be looked into. They have been noted, and we will get back to you.
Thank you, Councillor.
Thank you. Question 4, Mr. Nick Hollington.
Regarding the current Community Governance Review, what will voters be asked to consider in phase 1 of the proposed public consultation, and how will that link to or be different from what they will be asked to consider in phase 2?
Councillor Hodge?
I trust you're satisfied with the answer we've previously given you?
Almost, but you could help me further, I think, Councillor Holly. I wonder if you could help me understand the underlying principle and likely format. Of course, not the content, but the so-called recommendations for the stage 2 consultation. Elsewhere in the documentation, they are called proposals, including, quote, any proposed parishes and their electoral arrangements. Now, I wouldn't disagree with the detailed fleshing out of any option preferred in stage 1, but we'd be concerned if stage 2 consultees were to be directed to any particular option by the council. So, what I would like to ask, and this is sort of quite a yes or no answer in a way, would I be wrong to see stage 2 as a narrowing down of the options offered in stage 1 to 2 or 3 options preferred by the consultees, but without any direction for the council, saving clarifying what each option entails?
Councillor Hodge?
Thank you, Mr. Hoyton. That supplementary question will receive a written reply.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. I just remind members of the public that the next stage, which was answered in the last question, will be June or July, and the last council that sort of changed was Folkestone, probably 40 miles that way. Can't remember when they become a town council, but they would be the latest, if you like. So that would be a good, would give you a good option on the exact costs and processes that they went through. A lengthy process. It might be worth viewing this.